Sunshine Coliseum. Why not? Present day. Ah. Well, this is a blast from the distant past. Long time no see, Mr. Volant. "7 years, has it been? Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again." Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you. "I've spoken to the press. I've nothing more to say." I've spoken to a lot of people myself and come to some conclusions. But then I realized I needed to hear it from you. "I have walked a difficult road these past 7 years." Because you couldn't perform Magnifi's repertoire? Do not be deceived! Volant's skill is the real deal. I do not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was not my partner who slowed me on my way. Zach Gramarye. His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. Or so I thought. Zach Gramarye murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. End quote. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you? I remember it as if 'twere only yesterday, or a scant episode ago in some type of YouTube Let's Play. Yet, that was not the way of it in the end. For while he vanished, the suspicions upon my own person never did. His partner Zach vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said. I had no idea. Yet that very same press comes to me now feigning interest. They cover the greatest magic show in history as if it were a vaudevillian distraction. And here must I stand smiling at them all. What am I if not a player in some fiendish farce? Might I suggest it's because you never made it clear what happened? Magnifi's death is still a mystery to this day, which is why I came here to get the answer from you. Cyclops! Only 2 this time. I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later. The audience has no business stepping upon the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight. That sounds an awful lot like something I heard 7 years ago. Magatama time. Let's see what we got. We may need something else, but there's not a lot left to explore. So I think we might backtrack from here. Ask what you will, you'll get nothing from me. I'm as much a part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened. For 7 long years I have endured. Now finally the curtain lifts on my new golden age. All the miracles of our troupe within my grasp. Sorry to do this, Volant, but right now I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. Volant, I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this. We're clearly going to show him the transferal of rights to someone other than you.
Take that!
And what might that be? I see it bears the Gramarye seal. I should have brought this to your attention sooner. But I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast. What is this? A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magnifi's miracles. What? Zach Gramarye. He wrote this. What? He passed everything to his daughter. Trucy Enigma. Actually, she's officially my daughter these days. Preposterous! Zach is gone, vanished into the void! This is the genuine article. Zach was alive when he wrote this. Both myself and the notary can testify to this. Why? Why does fate toy with me so? Why must my life be lived in thrall to the dead? You're not the only one with that problem. But he shot Magnify. Yes, it was Zack. It was! And then he left, and my career as a magician fell into darkness. Did you think there might be some way out of it? Say, if you could prove Zack Gramarye shot Magnify. Was that why you testified? Yes! My way out! It should have been my way out! Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Ballant. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magnify Gramarye? Who really did it? Did Magnify shoot himself? It seems really unlikely. It'd be quite the magic trick. Mr. Hat. All along, never to be trusted, Mr. Hat. I almost wish that they had a specific thing for that. So the real question is, the nail polish would implicate Gavin. The Trucy's locket would implicate Thalassa. But she's dead. Or is she? At this point, I really, this whole time, thought that Ballant had killed Magnify. But I actually don't think either of them did now. The thing is it somehow Thalassa didn't die, and she came back and killed her dad. Crazy. Gavin is somehow behind something, which would be also nuts. Or somehow Magnify killed himself. And neither of them, and one of them shot the clown, or they shot it in different places, or something. Or Magnify isn't dead. He's definitely dead, because they have his corpse. I'm gonna present the locket. He would have done it. Let's present the locket. So this is the evidence that answers the question, who killed Magnify? Well, the only question that this evidence can answer is, who here is an idiot? And it answers you, Mr. Right! Ugh. Must I suffer such indignities even now at the life of a magician is a life of toil! There's one easy way to win over the public opinion. By producing a signed confession, even if the confession is a fake. Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Ballant. All you need is a way to prove your case. Do we present this page?
Take that!
No. I'm gonna present the crime photo. Nah. I'm gonna have to stop. I don't think we have what it is. I don't know how much more legwork we can do! Yeah, let's try Zack. I don't know, what new evidence have we gained that we didn't have before? Other than that we've opened up new locations. The Gramarye secret. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. The first time I saw her do it, it blew mine. After you didn't have in your mind... and after you were done having her mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use the reason of the hand, I always say. Yet, I myself have no such power. But Trucy does. But Trucy does. Why is that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother. Thalassa Gramarye? I will not speak of that. Thalassa is officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. I did the locket already, didn't I? Let's do the stamp.
Take that!
Oh, really? Fine. The three of you were a team once. Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. But I also have a stamp, as evidence. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. Yet, there's another story behind the fame. One that not many know. Thalassa lost her life during a rehearsal. To you and Valant, Gramarye's bullets. It was an accident.
It was an accident. It wasn't me. How could I shoot my dear Thalassa?
I'm sure Valant would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention.
Damn you! Her eyes. I loved Thalassa's eyes. To think they could read my mind was frightening. Yet there was a warmth in them that felt like an embrace. She is dead, and Magnifique Gramarye has joined her.
So the only one with her power left now is Trucy? Mr. Zack?
I do not know.
I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else. Someone other than Trucy? Someone who inherited Thalassa's power.
Ha! Ha! How would I know?
My chances are slim. It would take a miracle to learn the truth. Or maybe one has already occurred. There is someone else with the power? And I know who? Of course! It's Mike Meekins!
He has the power! By the power of Grayskull!
I think it's gotta be Apollo. Are Apollo and Trucy? Not allowed to have a crush on each other?
This boy?
His name is... I forget. Something weird. He's got a weird name. I don't know. Who cares? Who could he be? An attorney.
Attorney?
I noticed him when I went to visit a friend's law offices.
So, what are we to make of this, oh great ex-attorney? You can show me pictures of strange boys all you like, but you could at least say something like, I'm this boy, I could use a laugh.
Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalassa. Actually, it's more of a ring.
A ring?
Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just so happen to have evidence showing this missing link. I don't think I do, actually. Because this locket's neat, but it doesn't prove anything. Dang! Oh, it's so close! Alright. We need to find another thing. Let's go to the studio. Because I was gonna grill this guy. You have anything? Present. Mr. Brushel? Oh, what? Alright. Do you know this person?
Do I know that person? Of course. I was friends with Zack after all. He hit me a few times. 5 times, actually. But still, I'd never forget his wife.
Thalassa Gramarye. Magnifique Gramarye's only daughter? Do you think you could tell me more about her?
Well, why the heck not?
Okay.
So, Thalassa married Zack and had Trucy, see? It was her second marriage, actually.
You mean she was divorced? I hadn't heard this one before.
Not quite. Her late husband was a performer, too. He died in an accident on stage. Tragic, really. They had only been married for 1 year.
I didn't know.
But she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know.
Ay, ay, ay. The ring! She has bracelets! I've known Trucy since she was a little thing, too!
She got the better deal, really. She's got you for family, after all.
What do you mean?
Just reminiscing, you know.
Thalassa has another child.
Thalassa has another child besides Trucy. End quote.
What? But Trucy said she was an only child.
Yes, this one she had with her previous husband.
Her previous husband? Her first husband who died on stage.
Yep, they had themselves a kiddo. Another orphan now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now.
Thalassa had another child? Do you think I could borrow that photo?
Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know.
What? I won't need this locket anymore. Pew! Better return it to Trucy before I forget. Okay. Don't need this anymore. Farewell, valuable locket.
People on this all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger. Don't you think?
I was too busy wondering about Biggerer to listen to what you were saying. You crazy man.
Sometimes you just gotta accept that you won't be able to untangle it all, I think.
Maybe so, but still. I have to do what I can. And I have to tell what I find to those who come next.
Next, you say?
I'm not the one who will close the curtain on this little play. Apparently, that's not my role anymore. Magnify.
Huh? I was just wondering what Magnify would think of all this.
What do you mean?
Haven't you seen it in Trucy? She's got his power!
You mean how I can't lie to Trucy?
It was the same with Magnify and with his daughter, Thalassa. It's a strange thing. You think it's some Gramarye gene? Magnify told me once back when Zack married Thalassa.
He said Zack had good eyes.
She said Zack had good eyes. But not good like a Gramarye's eyes. Not that good. I wonder if Zack ever played a game of poker with his wife.
Who knows what the Gramarye secret was?
Maybe nobody now that Zack's gone.
Zack Gramarye. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. It sprouted from a warp in the Gramarye fabric and grew, swallowing everything, wrapping itself around the Gramarye's power. A power which passed from Magnify Gramarye to Thalassa to the next generation. And I would once again need to meet the one who bridged it all together. Check. I was expecting to have to catch him lying about something, and we apparently did not. All right, so my OTP. They can't be half siblings. How are they gonna make kissy faces if they're half siblings? Ugh. Okay. Let's get to the part that we saw earlier. There's someone else with the power, and now we definitely know it's the Apollo Juice. It would have been huge spoilers, right? All right, a ring. Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just happen to have evidence showing this missing link.
Take that!
Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Thalassa was her second. How do you know this? Her first husband. He died a year after they were wed, yes. He was a performer. They met when he joined us Gramarye as a guest in our show. After Thalassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you say she had a child then? I have a photograph of her here. I couldn't help notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. Those bracelets stand out. They are a Gramarye family heirloom. This boy wears a bracelet just like the ones in this picture.
What? So, that's why.
Why what, Mr. Zack?
I took this photograph of Thalissa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet.
I bet I know where that other one went.
She gave it to this boy, her son.
Double unlock! Oh, thank God, so much health. The Gramarye secret. This strange power,
I myself do not know from where it comes. Yet the fact is that it is passed down the Gramarye line. It runs in their veins.
what is it?
I asked her, Thalissa, once. This is what she told me. Her power responds to tension in others.
Tension?
If she were to face a person and they became tense, even slightly, then she would know, no matter how hard they tried to hide it from her.
So she could see it?
Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. She wouldn't realize that she was subconsciously detecting this tension. Without the use of a particular object, or in her case, objects.
Objects? Wait, were they something she wore?
Yes, her bracelets.
I admit the first time I saw one of those, I felt there was more to it than just fashion. But what kind of power could a bracelet have?
I've made a decision. I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift.
Whoa, a lot more dialogue. Okay. All right. Well, I hardly need you to tell me at this point, but those two
are brother and sister. Yes.
Half,
but yes. And the brother, too, has this power of theirs.
So Trucy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that.
Mr. Wright, tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. I would not see her live her life without knowing.
I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right. After they've been making kissy faces.
I am in your debt.
Once again? No kidding. What I want to know is, how all this got to be so messed up?
Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth.
So they're temperature sensitive or something?
Yes. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of their wearer's wrist.
And this has something to do with the power?
What have I told you? The Gramarye power reacts to tension in others. When a Gramarye senses tension, they too become tense. And this tension translates into minute contractions of the muscles. So minute they cannot sense it on their own.
Their muscles. Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for. You guys don't need to science this. You could just tell me the bracelets are magic, and I would probably like that explanation better.
With the bracelet on, one can sense these contractions, because the bracelet is always a perfect fit.
So when the person they're watching gets tense, the bracelet feels tighter on their wrist.
Precisely.
But that alone doesn't really count as mind reading.
I believe I understand how the process works from there. It's a simple question of eyesight.
Eyesight? I guess that sounds simple enough.
All right. Have you ever heard of kinetic vision?
Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right?
I've heard of it before.
They say athletes can see a moving ball like it was stopped if they focus.
Oh, but it's not confined to sports alone. It all relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face and the meaning that lies behind it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before one may distract it.
So basically what you're saying is, the Gramarys can see really well.
For them, seeing is more than believing. It is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus.
Things are starting to come into focus for me, too.
Of course, it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But What if someone could tell you when to focus? Or something? Precisely. But wait, Trucy doesn't have any bracelets. You are talking about poker, yes? The timing of when to focus is so elementary, she probably does it without thinking. I doubt Trucy herself has realized this. That's all I know of things Gramarye. Thank you, Mr. Zack. If this boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long, thereby awakening his power. I'll keep that in mind. Well, shall we play a game? I've said so much. Let me say one more thing. I will tell you of that night. That night? The night my mentor, Magnifi Gramarye, passed from this world to the next. There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was Magnifi's test. A test? In his last years, Magnifi Gramarye worked us to the bone. No, to the pain. But that night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead. This, it seems, was the correct answer.
Take this, I give my art to you, Zack.
What?
It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zack. I would not have minded dying by your hand.
How could I shoot you? You're my mentor.
I thought you might say that.
If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then?
Then of course I would have given Volant his chance.
And if I had shot you in the forehead instead?
Then it would be over. If you or Volant were to shoot me in the head, then I, to the darkness, would go, and my art with me. A fitting end, don't you think? Yet this ending too gives me no cause for regret. I thank you, Zack. And I am sorry. I have done much that was wrong in my day.
It seems to me that Magnifi wanted you to be his successor all along. That's why the time he gave you was earlier than Volant's. Perhaps, but it is not something we will ever know for sure now. I wonder, what is Volant up to these days? Waiting for you to die. If 7 years pass like this, the performance rights go to him. And now here I am, and his dream is ended. It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know. What? You don't mean to tell me they put the blame for our mentor's death on him? The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zack. There were even rumors that Volant had helped you pull it off. But that's madness! Well, it seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, I have one more act to perform. Huh? Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated, even though I'm dead? That night, Zack Gramarye was killed. He died as Shady Smith, a mysterious traveler with a secret past. But he left one thing behind before he parted. This. To whom it may concern, 7 years past, I, Zack Gramarye, murdered my mentor, Magnifi Gramarye. I apologize for the trouble caused by my sudden departure. His confession, to use as I saw fit. Of course, he'd killed no one. This was his way of tying up loose ends with his old partner, Valiant Gramarye. So now we have that confession that we're going to show to Volant. And Volant's going to freak out because he knows that he got there and Gramarye wasn't dead. So did I don't think that Volant did it either, though. What are you gonna say, man?
Yes, it was Zack, it was! And then he left and my career as a magician fell into darkness! Can you prove it? It should have been my way out! It might not be too late, Mr. Valant. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magnifi Gramarye? We have a confession! I believe I have the answer to your prayers right here. Zack Gramarye wrote one more thing before passing on. But this is a confession! In which he admits to the killing of Magnifi Gramarye. See? All according to your plan. I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. I fool the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yet it seems the tables have turned. Now, I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself. Zack wrote this right in front of me, after I explained your situation to him. OMG! Yeah! We got our health back! Oh, it feels good. Oh, it feels good. Oh, to have all our health back. Whew! You do know that this confession is nothing but lies! Yes, it's my opinion that Zack Gramarye killed no one. Then you must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. 2 received instructions to kill, but if one is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty. That would be the logical conclusion. So he vanished to protect me, his partner. A stirring tale, 'tis true. Did you shoot Magnifi Gramarye in the forehead? If I had, and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will. There is nothing left for me now. It is true, after all. I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magnifi's repertoire. It was as if a little demon grabbed hold of me. I knew it. So Valant Gramarye did kill the great Magnifi. So sorry, Mr. Wright, but it was not I who shot my mentor. What? But if it wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there? Another disciple? Such as... I don't know. Knack and talent, Gramarye? I don't know. Your wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zack and Valant received those threatening letters. But there was another. One more person could have fired that pistol that night. I don't suppose you figured it out by now? If it wasn't Zack or Valant who shot Magnifi, then it had to be the only other person at the scene, which means Dr. Hickfield. Wait, you don't mean... Yes, the great Magnifi Gramarye himself. Suicide? It's painless, according to the theme song from MASH. So Magnifi Gramarye committed suicide. You find it hard to believe? To be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility. When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. He appeared to be asleep. I could not shoot him. But when I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me. So you spoke with Magnifi Gramarye? Yes, and this is why I knew what he had done. Magnifi transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner, Zack Gramarye, not me. I see. Then I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it. You owe me no apology. Huh? My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder. What? Your crime? Did you commit double murder? Is Valant Gramarye confessing something to me? Does Valant Gramarye love me? What could be more serious than murder? You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. There are no secrets between partners. It was easy to find out. That was when I understood Magnify's plan. He wanted to die by one of your hands? Little did I expect it had anything to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. The little demon whispering inside my heart. The demon. Let me confess, I had intended to shoot Magnify. And I planned on framing my partner for the crime. What? That night, I prepared something before going to Magnify's hospital room, which was IV fluid, of course. I'd seen it on an earlier visit. If Zack did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then I would use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan. But you didn't shoot him. I could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came. But then Magnify called me back. I am sorry, Valant. I am giving my magic to Zack, not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please, help him, if you can. I left the room, and then I stopped. The shock of what I had just been told consumed me. That is when I heard that fateful gunshot. Magnify Gramarye killing himself. Then the demon awoke anew within me. Zack killed him. He was the one. Frame him and the magic will be yours. I altered the scene of his suicide. I took the pistol from his hand, wiped off the prints. Then I used the syringe to add the IV liquid I'd brought. So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. Magnify died, and you framed Zack for his murder. As planned, indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I had anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed truly? That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe, but... Yes? I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Valant. Thank you. It is I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision. You're going to turn yourself in? My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. And as my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts. I understand. I thought my life was ruled by a dead man. But I find I was wrong. For Zack Gramarye was alive. Well, not anymore. And now it occurs to me. What if he was not the only one who survived? What do you mean? You see, now that I think about it, I realize that No. We never saw proof of her demise. We never saw her body. her? The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies. Forget this matter. I can only hope that the day will come when I again meet my partner, Zach Gramarye. Then I shall apologize for my terrible mistake. I am glad we had this chance to talk. Thank you. Zach Gramarye, Shady Smith. Whichever name you prefer, he is no longer with us. The truth revealed in that trial was only a sliver, and the impenetrable darkness that remained has taken another life. I knew what I'd have to do to push back the darkness for good, and it would involve paying that man a visit. We've got one check mark left. Yikes. Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied. I see. Do you know when he'll be finished? Well... Could you go find out? Certainly, sir. Please wait here just a moment. My apologies to the guard, but there's something I need to see. It is a little yellow clue. Give me that. Give it to me. Give it to me! There it is. The yellow envelope. And the sender is Drew Measham. I was right.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Measham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at the crime scene.
If this is the last letter that Drew Measham wrote, then there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here goes. Let's see if this atroquinine spray finds anything. Well, we're gonna do some forensics of our own. On the stamp? Yes. So this was Drew Measham's messenger of death. It was this stamp, all right. No mistaking it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. The interview request came like you said it would. And they're looking into the case. I swear on my life I won't tell them about you, so please release the spell you put on my daughter. I'll write later with a report. Gotcha. Letter from Measham added to the court record. Finally. Decisive evidence! What's this? A burglar in jail? Gavin! I didn't know you moonlighted in Larceny, right? Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. My apologies, but there's not much I care to discuss. Vera Measham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There are no known survivors of atroquinine poisoning, but it never hurts to hope. Okay, I'll be leaving now then. Right, wait. Yeah, Gavin? Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Oh, sorry, forgot I had it. Many thanks. What? We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now, it is time. Every story has an ending. we've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. That was a camera. To be continued. There's a trial left, so buckle up, everybody. We're gonna be going through, but not tonight. Tonight we must rest, because that was a lot of investigating. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't by now, and I will see you next time for probably a pretty crazy trial. Bye for now.